Hey guys, what's going on? Dottz here. So today in the next video for our ultimate PvP beginner's guide, we're going to be going over the importance of buff and debuff maintenance. It's something I wanted to cover really early on in the series because I do think that between the previous video I made about building for success and this video, like just those two videos, you will see a significant amount of improvement because people that I've worked with in the past trying to help improve at PvP, these two videos covered like so much of their problems and issues and like the base, but like they needed to improve on that base before they could even hope to ever improve at PvP, which is why I put these two videos so early on in the series. But I really quickly do want to apologize. I'm sick right now while I'm making this video, so I do apologize if, you know, it seemed like a little like low energy or whatever, but, you know, still trying to get this video out to you. And I want to cover this today because I think that this topic alone is probably, like I said, along with the building, I think this is the most important video in the entire PvP series because, like I said, when I watch other people play or work with other people, this is the biggest issue. So you always hear me say on my stream or in my videos whenever I'm talking about PvP, buff and debuff maintenance. But you might be wondering why it is so important. So I'm gonna basically kind of explain some stuff here on a target dummy, and then I'm going to show you guys an example clip from my stream of me kiting out a group of people and showing you guys why I lived. And I'm gonna also reference that clip later on in the survival video, but I'm just going to showcase it to you guys from a buff maintenance perspective to show you guys why I was able to live for so long. So for my Magicka DK, basically the goal for this build, I need to maintain a couple important buffs myself. Volatile armor, this is going to give me major resolve. On top of that, it's going to return some magic damage back to my enemies, but there's other passives that are also important for me with maintaining this ability. For example, if we look at Burning Heart, I get 12% healing received while my armor buff is active. So if for some reason this was to drop off, I would not only lose 6,000 armor, I'd lose 12% healing received. That's huge, absolutely massive. On the other side, we also have Igneous Weapons. This is going to give me 20% spell damage, and so failing to maintain this would also decrease my damage and my healing by a very significant margin. Also want to be sure to maintain Flames of Oblivion on myself. This is going to allow me to pop off these fireballs to deal damage to my enemies every 5 seconds. This is just an offensive buff. And then on my opponents, I want to not only maintain Engulfing Flames, it's a damage over time ability. It's going to allow me to deal 10% more flame damage. I also have Burning Embers. Burning Embers is important because if you notice, it heals me for 76% of the total damage inflicted when it ends. So by maintaining this buff, I'm going to be getting this heal on my character, and especially if I maintain it on multiple people, as these multiple different dot ticks expire, I'm getting multiple heals on myself. And on top of that, all these different flame abilities that I'm maintaining also have a chance to proc Combustion, which is going to give me 1,000 Magicka every single time the flame status effect procs, and because I have a charged offhand, it's a pretty high chance. And you might be wondering, well, Dottz, why are you sitting here describing your Mag DK build? I don't play a Mag DK, I play something else. The purpose of this demonstration is to show just how many things I would be losing out on if I did not maintain these things. Okay, so when you're fighting somebody, right, and you have all your buffs up and you're fighting someone, okay, if you are to let one of these back bar buffs drop off, and let's say then you take some damage, okay? Let's say you get taken down to 40% health and your armor buff is dropped off, right? You need to do two things in that situation. Not only do you need to reapply your armor buff in order to make so that, you know, you decrease the amount of damage that you're taking, but you also need to heal yourself. You have 40% HP. You gotta start healing yourself. And the problem is that if you start healing yourself without the armor buff, your opponents are just going to be able to rip through your heals faster than you can cast them. And so you might not even have that spare global to apply the armor buff. Okay, so that is why maintaining those buffs. Same thing with the igneous weapons, right? You're gonna notice in the clip that I show you guys, I let my igneous weapons drop off for a little bit because I'm being pressured so hard, but because I let it drop off, my heals are not doing as much as they can, so I really quickly try to get to LOS to get that igneous weapons back up. So you need to make sure that you maintain those buffs on yourself so that when you need to heal defensively, you do not need to waste globals reapplying buffs. Okay, you don't want to spend those globals just applying buffs. You want to spend them healing yourself defensively. Okay, and a lot of the times, if you've seen me on stream where I talk about how on my mag DK I like to bait people to overextend onto me. It's something I do that the Dragonknight can do very easily with Battle Roar and the way that leap works. When I leap, I deal instant damage, I get a very large damage shield, and I also restore a bunch of resources to myself. And so basically what I'll do a lot of times is I'll force someone to overextend on me. So let's say I'm fighting, I did this recently with a necromancer I was fighting. I was fighting a necromancer. He had on his back bar, he had his mortal coil, his ghost, which gives him 10% damage reduction, mortal coil is a heal over time, and the armor buff that he has, okay? So I let myself get down to 30, 25% HP, and then I leapt the guy because he was just pushing, right? He was overextended, he was pushing me, he was pushing those executes, he let those back bar buffs fall off, and then when I leapt him, I hit him for a shitload of damage because his armor buff fell off, his ghost fell off, so that's, you know, 6,000 resistance plus 10% raw damage mitigation, so the leap hit hard as shit, and then I hit him with a 3-stack whip. And I think I took him down with just that combo down to maybe like 25% HP, 30% HP. And now he's only got 25% health. And now he has to apply 3 buffs and heal himself. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's too much to do because he let those buffs fall off. And so now I'm completely in the driver's seat of the fight because I have all my buffs up and I'm ready to go offensive. And so I ended up killing him because he was trying to spend globals to heal himself, but I was just being able to parse right through his heals because he didn't have the ghost, the armor buff, so he was just trying to raw heal himself with rally vigor. You know what I'm saying? And if he had spent those globals applying those buffs, he wouldn't have been healing himself and I would have killed him anyway. And so that is why maintaining those buffs is really important. I know it's really easy to try to greed and go for kills, but you need to think whenever you're fighting, you need to think long term. Okay, you need to think, well, if I don't get this kill, if I don't kill this guy, what's gonna happen? I'll lose. And so you need to, if you go for an offensive opportunity and you don't get it, just say, all right, that's it, it's whatever. Double check your buffs, you know, and then if they're starting to run low, reapply them. Just reapply them and then repress the gas pedal. Because if you try to push through it and then your enemy turns on you and your buffs all wear off, you're gonna get smacked. So that's speaking about it from a defensive perspective. Now, talking about it from an offensive perspective, I think is also very, very important too. You need to be able to maximize your offensive pressure. And so again, here on my Magicka Dragonknight, in order for me to maximize my offensive pressure, I need to make sure that these 3 damage skills as well as igneous weapons are all maintained. If I don't have engulfing flames up on my target, not only is the dot not ticking, I'm dealing 10% less damage. If I don't have burning embers up on my target, I'm missing a dot. If I don't have flames of oblivion up on myself, I'm missing that damage. And so you need to make sure you maintain all of these different things so that you can maximize your offensive pressure on your opponents. I'm also going to hop onto a different class to demonstrate this from a different perspective. So this is my new Magsork build that I'm going to be showcasing to you guys pretty soon on my website. I'm going to be updating, I think, the build on the website to showcase this new Magsork build. But I really quickly want to talk to you guys again, just from, like I said, that buff and debuff perspective, from a completely different class to my Dragonknight, right? So on my Magsork, if I want to maximize that offensive pressure, I want to make sure that I have my Haunting Curse up. I want to make sure that I have that Endless Fury ticking so that when I do my big burst combo of my light attack with my frags and the overload, and then the Haunting Curse also hits, right? Those are 3 instances of damage plus my light attack plus my enchant. So it's 4 or 5 instances of damage, right? All hitting, so that when they get low, the Endless Fury can then proc, and then they'll die, right? So maintaining all of these things is really important, because if I don't, my offensive potency is not going to be as high as it potentially could be. On the flip side, defensively, again, very different class in the mag DK, okay? So for me, I want to maintain Boundless Storm, just to make sure that I have, again, that armor buff up. And then if I notice that I'm being pressured, the thing to do is to just kite away with Streak, reapply your damage shields, and then heal yourself. Okay, remember that damage shields are meant to defend your healing. They're meant to mitigate incoming damage. You don't want to start shielding yourself like after you've already taken a significant amount of damage. You know, you want to try to put a distance between your opponents. Like, let's say I was fighting somebody and I started to take a bunch of damage, right? Basically what I would do is Streak, get away, heal myself, and then shield. Now those overlaid shields would defend my heals, allow them to actually heal up my HP, and now I would be proactively defending myself from any incoming damage. Okay, but as you can tell from even just using two different class examples, the difference that maintaining these buffs and debuffs means. Because let's say I didn't maintain my armor buff, right? Let's say I was just sloppy with it, it wasn't up, whatever, and I start taking a lot of damage. Now on top of doing the shielding, now on top of the healing, now on top of the kiting, I also need to apply this, and that's a global that you are wasting. And I know you might think, well, it's only one global, but again, a global here, a global there, when your opponent's playing well and you're essentially wasting time, you know, that's how they get an advantage over you, okay? And all these little things, they matter a lot. And so I wanted to just really quickly impart to you guys here that while you are going through the PvP improvement process and you're recording your gameplay, make sure you have action duration reminder or some sort of way to track your buffs and debuffs. One of the things I want you guys to extremely heavily focus on when you are watching your gameplay back is, am I maintaining my buffs and debuffs? Because I guarantee at least 75 to 90% of you are not. Almost every single person I worked with for the VOD reviews when I had that out on my Patreon, I think actually every single one of them, their biggest weakness was buff and debuff maintenance. Speaking of which, potions play a huge role in that, right? If you are using spell power pots, so your major sorcery buff is going to be coming from your potions, you should use these anytime you're in combat. You get into combat, you pop a potion. You know, you're going to be using your potion a little bit differently than other people, right? If you're using tri-stat potions, you might want to use them when you actually have a need for resources, so you get that flood of resources, then those major recovery buffs kick in. But if you're using something like this, where sorcery and prophecy or one of them or both of them are coming from the potion, this is more about maintaining this like a buff, as opposed to like, oh, I need magic now. So the second you get into combat, that's when you pop this. So the potion use is a little bit different, and it's just something for you to keep in mind, you know? But I want you guys, when you're recording your gameplay, when you're watching yourself back, I want you to very heavily focus on that buff and debuff maintenance. Look at your bars, look at the action duration reminder when you're fighting someone, and look, am I maintaining my Dottz? Am I maintaining my armor buff? Is my major sorcery or brutality maintained? Is my rally maintained? Am I maintaining shuffle? Like, am I maintaining the things that my build needs to have maintained to find success? Okay, so focus on that, pay attention to that, and check that out when you guys go out and play. But I'm really quickly just going to review a clip, guys, after this, so I could show you guys in real time what this actually looks like. All right, guys, so I'm actually going to be referencing this clip a couple times throughout the PvP series, because I think this is one of the best survival clips that I have from the patch, where I basically kite out, I'd say, a good 15 or 20 people for like 5 minutes. It's not 15 to 20 people the whole time, but it's a lot of fucking people, and you guys are going to see, I think it's a really good demonstration of just the importance of maintaining my buffs and positioning. And this goes a little bit more into like the survival aspect of things too, so I am going to review this again in the survival video, but I just think it's a really, really good showcase of buff and debuff maintenance. I want to move this bar over here so we can showcase it. All right, so I'm basically just going to commentate over this fight. So me and Annie are by Sedge, I believe. Yes, we're by Sedge, and we decide, well, we're going to poke this blue group. But a second we do, about 20,000 people come out of the keep. So basically what I do when I first start kiting here, okay, I go into mist form, and I kite away through LOS so that I can't be attacked by as many people. I apply rapid regen to myself to get the heals rolling, and now because I'm taking a lot of damage and I actively need to heal myself, you notice how fast my stamina drops? It's because I'm blocking. I don't dodge roll here because I not only want to mitigate incoming damage, but I also want to heal myself. I'm gonna go over this more too in the block versus dodge roll video that I have planned, but this is a great example of like when I want to block. Plus I have a meteor on me, as you can tell by the runes at my feet, so I don't want to dodge roll because I'll get hit by it, so I block instead. So block, heal myself, and get some heals on myself, and now my health is topped off, so now I go into mist form. You don't ever mist form low, you mist form high. I pop out of mist form, I let champ myself to heal myself back up. I dodge roll, I don't go back into mist form because I know that I have light champ rolling and I don't want to essentially throw those heals in the garbage. Now when I turn the corner here, I dodge roll to basically dodge cancel something, and then I volatile, and then I bar swap. I needed to volatile and igneous there, okay? You see I didn't igneous, so I no longer have my major sorcery buff. So again, I'm trying to kite these guys out. We have a lot of fucking people chasing us, so I just want to kite them out, and I stay in mist form until I get some space. I come out, then I igneous, then I refresh my volatile, okay? I take the time to refresh before the Zerg comes. Zerg chases me. I try to apply some debuffs, get some damage going, but there's just too many people. So again, I rapid regen, wait for it to kind of tick down a little bit, and then I mist form. You don't want to mist form at the beginning of rapid regen because again, it's going to absorb all of those heals. So basically, once I get my light champ, I pop out of mist, I light champ immediately. Then I dodge roll to mitigate incoming damage, make sure I don't get hit. Again, I do not go into mist form because I have light champ rolling. I stun this guy, apply burning embers, try to get some debuffs going so that I can maybe go offensive, but there's just too many people. So again, I'm mist forming away, trying to find line of sight. Okay, I'm looking at my buffs. I see they're starting to get a low. I go again onto this rock for LOS. I heal myself with my 2 heals. I bar swap to my front bar. Do you notice I swap back to my back bar? You guys are gonna fucking have to watch this at half speed because I'm spitting here, dude. You notice I go to my front bar, I notice, oh, my armor buff dropped off, so I go, I reapply it, I heal myself because I know if these guys catch me and my armor buff is down, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna get wrecked. So I'm gonna fast forward to when they start attacking me. So basically, at this point, I see there's a couple of people that are just over here fighting some other reds. So I walk up. Okay, we got my back bar buffs up. So again, I walk up, engulfing flames. I whip this guy, and he dies. Here, that guy just dies to people. So the only time that you'll notice that I maybe won't go into like a burning embers refresh or like refresh something is if I know someone will die at that point. But otherwise, I really do focus on maintaining those debuffs again to make sure that my offense is at its peak. So now these guys come down here, they start attacking me. So again, I dodge cancel my volatile armor, make sure I don't take damage while applying that buff. I mist form away, apply heal to myself, reapply igneous. You see, I'm just rotating through those buffs, making sure they're up on me at all times. I'm just kind of peeking out, seeing what this horde of blues are deciding to do. Okay, I move again to a better spot for LOS. I'm trying to kind of see what they're thinking and if there's any window for me to pick any people off the Zerg, and there just isn't. So I'm just basically, if you look, I'm just continuously rotating through those buffs, rotating through them to make sure they're at max duration for when I start getting attacked and I'm going to be needing to do other things. Now, when I go over to this rock to see if maybe I can get 1 or 2 people over, more people than I expected to commit to me. So again, I start to mist form away. Again, I come out of the mist form, light champ, and then I still have my armor. If you guys notice here, let me actually re-click here. So we come out of the mist form, we light champ, I get stunned. Do you notice here, I dodge roll, I don't mist form because the light champ is rolling. Then I mist form after the light champ. I pay attention to that heal. Okay, again, go get to myself to some line of sight. Refresh all my buffs. I coag, okay, go to my back bar, volatile armor. You guys see, I'm never letting these buffs drop off. I pull one person to me, he streaks through me, I try to deal some damage to him. Notice that I have people coming out of stealth all over the place. So what I do here, okay, so again, we go into this guy. He streaks forward. He attacks me. Again, taking damage here. This is being a perfect example of why it's so important that I have all my buffs up, okay? So I can get 56, 54, 49. I'm at 24% health right now. Dodge rolling on my front bar. Could you imagine if I had to go to my back bar and I didn't have my armor buff up? I'd get wrecked. I would get destroyed. So I go to my back bar. I bar swap. I coag to burst heal. Okay, I don't go rapid regen. I'm low. I need a big heal. So I coag. Okay, then I light champ because I have it. Okay, then I rapid regen overlay on top of that to get the double hot going. I misform near the end of my lights champ because I'm not going to be losing all that much lights champion if I misform. Okay, so now if you notice, my igneous is off, my volatile is off, my stam is low. I come out of misform, I pop my potion for a big rejuvenation to my stamina pool, which was great because I just got stunned. If I had got stunned with my stamina low, I'd be dead. I'd be super fucking dead. So I come out of here, okay? I dodge roll again. I tried a volatile armor, but because this is a AAA game, I didn't get it. So I have to use it again. Volatile. Every global here is so important. That's why I'm going through like this, because look at my fucking resources here. And as you can see by the duration of the clip, I live, okay? So I block. The reason I'm blocking here, okay, even with my stamina this low, I know I just got stunned. I am CC immune. I'm not going to have to CC break. So I spend what little stamina I have to block and block cast a heal. So I just coag a couple times. I get a big coag crit. And now when my health is high enough to justify mistforming, I mistform. And as you can tell, I go through the mistform animation, I get taken down to 14% health. I then cancel it and coag. I just block a little bit of incoming damage. I coag. I coag again. I coag again. I'm just blocking. As you can see, my stamina is at 0. I am block casting every coag I can. Plus, block will also stop incoming CC. But do you guys notice the entire time my igneous weapons was down? If my igneous weapons was up, all these heals would have been so much larger. Right here, after this mistform, I should have dropped out of mistform, refreshed volatile, refreshed igneous, okay? That would have been the play there, but I didn't, and I ended up getting caught. Now you can see we went through this whole stanza of, now you see, I can't spend a global to apply igneous. I have to heal myself, but if I had it, these heals would be healing me for so much more. This wouldn't have been so stressful, okay? It's a mistake on my part. So again, I get a modicum of LOS. I lights chant myself, and now I igneous. I igneous here because I know I have those big heals rolling. I know I'm safe to spend a global, not healing myself. And then we, again, use igneous here. I'm just going to use this dialogue here for the How to Survive video too. So if you're in the How to Survive video, hello, good to see you. So then, again, I go up here. I'm healing myself, okay? We had the light champ roll. I come back down because everybody came up and overcommitted to me. I drop back down in mist form. We're again reapplying my armor buff. You see the armor buff ran off, so I reapplied it. Again, start healing myself. I get my health high. Now I'm safe to mist form. You mist form high. You do not mist form low. Mistforming low, you will just die, okay? So I start seeing. I get any semblance of LOS. I'm keeping an eye on my HP, okay? I get a little bit of LOS, I pop out, dodge, cancel a coag. That makes sure so that when I coag, I'm taking 0 damage when I coag. I also know I'm safe to spend that stamina because if you look at my potion is about to come up, which means I'm about to get a blast of both my resource pools, okay? I refresh volatile, I get a bad stun here. But thankfully, because the kite game was strong, I don't have that many people attacking me, I sit the full stun, potion afterwards, coag, okay? I then mistform after because I'm at 50% health, I can safely get away. Then I get around a corner, lights champ, and we survived, okay? But do you guys see why buff maintenance and keeping an eye on those buffs that I had on my character the whole time was so important? You can even look, I even maintained Flames of Oblivion on myself to try to deal any semblance of damage to people, right? But you guys see, this is why that buff maintenance is so important. If I didn't maintain those buffs properly the whole time, I would have died. You know, I would have been taking more damage. My heals wouldn't have been doing as much, okay? If I didn't maybe have the Flames of Oblivion going, maybe I wouldn't have gotten some of the combustion procs that I did, okay? You know, these little things play such a big role in why I was able to do what I did there. I mean, granted, I, used my globals intelligently, and I also, kited really, really well, but at the core of everything that you do in PvP is maintaining your buffs on yourself and debuffs on enemies for when you go offensive. And I want you guys, again, I implore you to, when you watch your recordings back, to really, really, really pay attention to these things and make sure that you are maintaining everything appropriately. But guys, that is going to be it for me today. I hope this video was helpful to you and that you did learn something from this. Again, I know just simply saying buff and debuff maintenance, I know I talked about such a simple concept for so long, but my goal with this video was to explain why it is so important. I don't want to just tell you it's important. I want to showcase and explain why exactly these little things are so crucial to your long-term success. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you smacked a like on it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment below. I do my best to get to your comment and answer your question. Again, an add-on like action duration reminder will help a lot. And if you guys do like this series and want to see more, hit that sub button as well as the bell to keep those notifications on. Link to the playlist can also be found in the description if you do want to watch any previous or future episodes. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. I do very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dottz Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one.